Afternoon, the Department of Homeland Security announced a new operation focusing even more scrutiny on refugees with legal status in our state. DHS says it's going to re-examine the cases of thousands of legal refugees. They're promising to redo background checks and interviews, searching for cases of fraud that they would then forward to ICE. Kent's on the show to take a look at what's going on here and the reaction to it.
We mourn the passing of a good person and a good neighbor.
Members of the Somali Community Leadership Table stood at the vigil for Renee Good today to remember their neighbor and stand against ICE activity in Minneapolis.
ICE out now! Division will not work in Minnesota, nor in this country.
But as they spoke, the Department of Homeland Security was announcing a new operation to increase scrutiny on 5,600 refugees in Minnesota who have not yet been given green cards. A spokesperson adding, Minnesota is ground zero for the war on fraud. This operation in Minnesota demonstrates that the Trump administration will not stand idly by as the U.S. immigration system is weaponized by those seeking to defraud the American people.
I'm hearing it from you right now.
Khalid Omar said after weeks of ICE activity and fraud allegations that have led to threats against his community, he's not surprised.
There's another distraction from the real issues and concerns of Americans.
In some ways, it's kind of redundant when people are in the process of becoming a refugee and then on the path to getting a green card. They're already going through review processes.
Julia Decker, policy director at the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota, says, on the other hand, with thousands of federal agents on the ground right now, it could mean even more widespread confusion and fear.
People who have refugee status and may have applications pending, who have followed all the rules, who are doing what they're supposed to be doing, are now facing the prospect of, okay, so what does this mean? Like if I'm driving to work and I'm waiting for my application to be approved, what if I get stopped by an agent? Am I suddenly under investigation and nobody told me about it?
This is a reckless act to display cruelty because they're not delivering for Americans.
And to be clear here, the 5,600 Minnesota refugees now apparently under greater scrutiny could be from a number of countries. And according to Julia, they're concerned that it could lead to federal agents casting a wider net here with their random stops in the area to check status. If so, they say it's critical for anyone here under legal refugee status to have contacts saved for both an immigration attorney and anyone who they can contact if they are stopped and then detained. Jana.
Yeah, Kent, do folks in that particular space, those 5,600 people in Minnesota, do they have any papers that could help them, or is it just those numbers that she talked about? Because of the videos you and I've seen, we haven't seen a lot of opportunity for people being detained to have them call someone.
Well, typically she said that people that here under that status know their status, they know what to do in situations, and they also have some kind of ability to point that out. The worry is that in, as you mentioned, the chaos of all this detainment, all this other stuff, that they don't have their immigration attorneys on speed dial or other things to help navigate this system.
All right, Kent, one last thing when we come back.